I'll try to make this pretty quick. Even before the Supreme Court judgment, I have a manifesto. And if you look at my race, you'll see it. It is enshrined in my philosophy. Call it Izedowen's philosophy. People call it that. Izedowen's philosophy is simple, that development must start in the rural areas. And I see local governments as developmental partners, not as my minions who I just dish out orders or give cash to. So what we have, and you can check it when the manifesto is released, is called the Edo State Guidance Fund. It has never been done anywhere in Africa. It's part of my philosophy. Edo State Guidance Fund is a new initiative which says economic prosperity must reside in the local governments. So how do we intend to do this? From the day I get into office, I'm going to call all my local government chairmen and sit, because these are my partners. Each of them will incorporate a minimum of 5 companies. 5. And what are we going to do with these companies? These companies, in partnership with the state and private sector, we're going to create a unique structure, okay, where a fund will be created. And that fund, which goes to the question you were asking me, how are we going to fund it? I didn't want to let it go at that point. That fund will come in to do all this funding of factories to process palm oil, factories to package pando yam, factories to package cashew nuts for export. Remember, export. So those funds will have a clear mandate directed by me, directed by the state government, to make sure certain areas where we have comparative advantage is explored. And when it's explored, the local government in these funds will have 50% of those funds. State government will have 25%. Or if you can cut it anyhow, I would rather private sector have 50%, state government have 20%, local government 30%. So how it's going to work is this. The fund will be managed by the private sector. The local government have no business in it. All they are putting is the funds. But where the state comes in, where I come in, because this is what I studied in school and this is what I've done over the years, I've played with the model. The model is this. The state government will direct funds to make sure that investment goes to those areas. So if I want cashew nut processing factory to happen in Esako, to create a supply chain there, I would partner with the local governments in Edo North, Esako, Central, and all of that, to have funds that will seed those investments. So that's how I'm going to work with the local government. Even if I'm going to China or Vietnam or Japan, I will have in the plane with me 3 or 4 local government chairmen, so they can come and see for themselves what plans we are trying to initiate. And they will take ownership of these initiatives. So the local governments are going to have, from my plan, autonomy to be able to manage their resources. Because I believe if those resources are not managed by the local government, it will not trickle down to the grassroots, which is anti what I stand for. I am against predatory government that we see today, godfatherism. So I am against it, and I will push for the power, economic power, to reside to a large extent within the local governments. I want to empower them and direct funds, private funds, to come and support government funds to invest in certain key areas where we have comparative advantage, so that our solo coefficient, or if you like, our total productivity factor, can increase. My plan is to double Edo State GDP in 8 years and make sure that we become a medium economy in 20 years and an advanced economy in 30 years. It can be done. We will start it in Edo State and it will spread like wildfire across Africa. That's how we're going to become Japan. That's how we're going to become Germany. Not by just making noise or playing the Lord over a state as a godfather. That era has passed. We've had enough. 30 years of that is enough for us. We need to move forward. The youth must be given a chance. We are ready to take the bull by the horn. These old guys who screwed our 30 years, our patrimony, must retire. It's time for them to retire. Thank you.
Vote Engineer Usain Derek Zedo as governor. Vote ADC, the party with the handshake sign.